be discussing how foster care affects graduation rates. The goal of my study was to understand the correlation between placement moves and graduation success in foster care, and to determine if foster youth are at a disadvantage in the educational system. My process was to discover causes of problems in the educational achievement of foster youth, contact Cincinnati Public Schools to obtain information on students in foster care, record data on the youth's academic progress, and study literature on the topic. The main causes of problems that I discovered were placement type, which includes semi and fully independent living. This placement type has the most access to services, but also has a high transfer rate. Foster homes, which has the highest placement disruption rate, which can cause a student to have to transfer schools multiple times and may cause them to fall behind. Residential facilities, which are the most restrictive. They have great services, but most of the students are attending school within the facility and have trouble transferring credits out of it. Kinship placement, which is fostering through the family of the biological parent. This has the least amount of services but also has the most support from the caregiver for the most part. And then the last placement type I studied was group homes. And in group homes, there was the lowest graduation rate of foster youth. Another cause of problem is placement disruption. 23 to 70% of youth experience a disruption each year. This causes problems with transferring schools and placement types, and then school transfer problems. Communication between caseworkers and schools has been a huge problem in transferring. This causes a delay in services being provided. Curriculum change from moving from school to school can put a child behind in school. And transfer delay, which can have a student out of the education system for months and cause a lack of interest and a delay in graduation. Consequences of the problem: delayed graduation or no graduation. Many students in the foster care system have delayed graduation because of the multiple school transfers. Poor academic performance. Some foster youth find a lack of interest after being transferred so many times and perform more poorly, or are in a new curriculum and find themselves behind. Lower cognitive ability. There's a lot of trauma that comes with being moved so often, so this can create a lower cognitive ability and less likely to pursue higher education. Many foster youth do not pursue college. This graph shows the correlation between the number of placements and the amount of credits earned by a foster youth. I added the age to show that some students are 19 to 20, between 17 and 20. These are all seniors. The credits required to graduate high school in Ohio is 20. As you can see, many of the students are below the 20 credits required. And then this is the correlation between number of schools and graduation rate, or graduation credits achieved. Possible solutions: better communication between schools and caseworkers. There needs to be a system for every school to better communicate with a caseworker on the problems children are facing in school. More services provided to foster youth, and new policies. One policy in Ohio is the Every Student Succeeds Act, which tries to provide educational stability by keeping a child in their school of origin. This is not always possible, though, because of school district moves. They do provide transportation, but it's not always perfect. And then the limitations to my study were a small sample size. I could only sample Hamilton County, Cincinnati public schools. Inability to interview students. I couldn't interview most of the students on my in my sample, and the lack of accessible data collected by the county. There just isn't enough like available data for me to collect.